opportunity to change that on August the 20th. We no longer have to complain about the Republican Party that we have, because you, the Republicans, are going to be able to vote for new leadership in the Republican Party. And that's the reason I'm running, Todd, because, we've got a major problem within the party trying to ban actual workers who are in trying to work. And then the minute a good worker comes in and files to run, another person that does absolutely nothing comes in right behind you to try to divide the vote away to keep the uniparty in control.
Yeah, we've seen that in the rec multiple times over the last couple of years, actually, kind of tactics like that. So tell us the importance of the position you're running for, the state committee woman.
Well, the state committee woman is the leadership role in all of the Miami-Dade County Republican Party. So if you think about it, if you want the actual leader, if you even just look at the chain on the ballot, Todd, I always tell people, look on your ballot and you'll see the importance of the position. I'm number 86. On the ballot itself. That means it's right up behind the sheriff's role. Okay. So for the party itself. So we've had a woman that has run for this position for over 30 years. I mean, it's really kind of unknown, to be truthful. And we don't see any communications going out from the Republican Executive Committee itself. We don't see any volunteer notices. For instance, I'll give you an example. For the Trump rally, President Trump needed our Republican Party there. And you know what they did? They all showed up. They showed up with a list of over 50 people that they wanted him to mention. Well, where were those 50 people volunteering to connect with the crowd? You know what? There was people like myself making sure that our elected officials actually got seated while we left chairs empty. If everybody at the rally would have noticed, you would have noticed a bunch of empty chairs until the very end, because those are the people that think they are so important. Those are actually the people that are supposed to be out volunteering, representing you, working for you. But instead, I had to go in, and actually I should have brought my badge in. I was banned multiple times, not only from the Republican Executive Party themselves, who is run by Alex Diaz de la Portilla, but I was actually banned from the rally per these different things. Fortunately, guess what, Todd? I was on a very special list and a very special guest of President Donald J. Trump. So that didn't happen for them this time. He knows exactly what's going on here. He even mentioned it on the podium multiple times, that we have a rec that is not working for us. So we need Republicans to get out and vote and quit. I'm not trying to say that general elections do not matter, but the most important election of your life actually starts on August the 20th. With a vote for your leadership for the Republican Executive Committee, because those are the people that are selecting people on the ballot. Like they are actively selecting who runs for office, who you actually know about, and who gets money and funding for running for office.
So, the local elections, we've come to understand, are the most important, and people really have to get involved at the local level, and then that floats up higher. So tell us about that. What do you want to do? Let's say you get into the position. What are you going to do for the Miami-Dade as the state committee woman?
Well, the very first thing I'm going to do, have a list of all Republican voters. We have over 400,000. So I'm going to utilize that list to reach out to Republicans themselves and get them engaged. I am not afraid of, anybody taking over a leadership role of me. I'm not afraid of any competition. Matter of fact, I welcome competition. I want it. I want our Republicans engaged, involved. I do not want our president having to recruit people from other counties to try to come in and help us last minute. Because we can't get our act together, because I find that extremely embarrassing. And that is the reason I'm running, because, in the past, Todd, I've actually been told by military generals, you know what, I just need to come in and tell the Cuban people, I am here to rescue you. I'm a multi-generational American. If you want something new, if you want your party to change, then you need to vote for someone who understands how America works, so that we can dump over the apple cart and we can actually truly turn this county red. Because right now, we have Republicans that are actively working with Democrats to get Democrats elected. We have Republicans that are working as campaign consultants for Democrats, and it's just absolutely wrong. Matter of fact, the other thing that I'm going to be doing is, when I find out that that's happening, I'm going to be making a formal request in front of all the Republican Executive Committee that they immediately step down from their position as committee man and committee woman, because they are violating the bylaws of the Republican Executive Committee itself.
Yeah, there's a loyalty issue. What about the RPOF? A lot of problems up in Tallahassee or over
Yes.
Tallahassee.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so when we've made reports to Tallahassee, so we saw what we got with Christian Ziegler. So,
Mhm.
for instance, I've tried to, speak with Christian Ziegler, tried to speak with him in person. Instead, obviously, I'm very well spoken, Todd. I know what's going on. I know what's
Mhm.
happening in the city of Miami. Even the leftist Miami Herald cannot run from the fact that Christi Tasker knows the issues plaguing Miami. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's the one line that I love that they actually put out about me. Okay, that I do know the issues, and what I see is uniparties actually working together. And I'll just say this, Todd. Christian Ziegler is actually from not the state of Georgia, but he is from the country of Georgia, and we let him lead our Republican Party in the state of Florida. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with it at all.
So I don't know enough myself to know how the committee woman can impact the statewide party.
Well, the
Are
committee
you?
woman is supposed to
Yeah.
speak up for all the Republicans in Miami-Dade County. So in other words, if the majority vote, like if we take a vote, which
Mhm.
yourself that people have run out on, people
Mhm.
have been arrested over the most basic things, just trying to get the
Mhm.
most basic things out of our Republican executive committee. And other people have asked me, listen, other parties have come to me and said, oh, please join our party. You know what? No, this is the party. This is my party. I've been a lifelong Republican, and I'm not running away from it just because
Mhm.
some people want to hold on to power, and they absolutely are terrified, especially of an American woman who can come in and actually identify with Cubans, because my grandfather actually served JFK. He was the one who actually took the message to JFK that Fidel was going to take over Cuba. And you know what my grandfather told me, Todd, a long time ago, was that I can do more on the outside than on the inside when I wanted to go into the U.S. Army or go into any type of intelligence work or anything. He said, you can always speak on the outside. When you get on the inside, you can't speak. So I am here. I'm a voice for the Republican Party. I'm a voice for the people. And no matter if I like what the vote is, I will still take that vote to Tallahassee, whether I like it or not. I'll say, you know what?
Mhm.
I don't really identify with this, but you know what? My people voted, and my Republican Executive Committee, there should be almost close to 400 people by the time if it's actually full. If more than half of those people vote, I will be taking that legislation or whatever we need to Tallahassee to advocate for all Republicans and all Miamians in a whole, because many of the situations that occur, the legislation that our party wants is actually a somewhat bipartisan in some nature. So that's what our Republican state committee woman is supposed to be doing. She's not supposed to be working for herself. She's not supposed to be renting an office to the RPOF that
Mhm.
she owns. These are the things that are happening here. And
Yeah.
it is shocking. It is shocking that our state has not even, our state of Florida GOP has not stepped in to say that, you guys haven't even turned in anything for the Secretary of Elections. It's even
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
shocking.
huge issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a Treasury report turned in over 2 years. Okay. There are rumors swarming that there's over $400,000 missing. And that's the
Mhm.
reason they haven't turned in the report. I don't know, because the report's not turned in, Todd. We
Mhm.
don't really know. We
Mhm.
don't know what we're walking into. So we don't know if we're walking into a total eye-opening of corruption. I believe that could be what it is, and they know that I will easily find it. I believe that's one of the reasons that at the state level, they have actually had me met at the door at our local Republican Executive Committee. I was supposed to speak. I was invited to speak. I was actually on the ballot to be a committee woman. There was no committee woman showing up for my district. And guess what? I was met at the door with an attorney that could not even give me a basic definition of why I could not be there. It's all on film. It's there, and it's wrong.
Wow.
That's got to change, and we have the opportunity to change it on August the 20th. I say we can quit complaining about it then. So if
Gotcha.
Republican, here's the deal. If you don't go to vote, you're going to be complaining about it. And guess what? Like President Trump says, we have to make this too big to rig. And guess what? I will never surrender. I'm never going to change parties. And guess what? I'm going to be a thorn in the side of the Republican Party. They're not going to be able to get away with this for multiple years. And matter of fact, we're going to have a voice in the White House. We're going to have somebody that actually supports President Trump. Oh, that's another thing, Todd. Our own party did not show up. Our Republican Executive Committee did not show up on November the 7th. When President Trump was here, guess where they all were? They were all over at the debate, the presidential debate on stage. They were going to leave seats completely empty next to President Trump at the rally. Listen, guys, he's much smarter than any of our Republican Executive Committee. I hate to tell you that, but he is absolutely much smarter than they are. And he outsmarted them. He outwitted them. He knows exactly who showed up, who did it, who the rhinos are, who's not. He keeps trying to give them chance after chance after chance after chance. And guess what? They still keep coming to him. They still keep asking for endorsements for people they know that we don't want. That's
fascinating to watch. It happens all around the country, actually, different states.
So, right. So that is how your Republican Executive Committee, because you know what? I'll go to President Trump and tell him, you know what, President Trump, listen, I really wanted this person, but, my party wants this person. So we have to, I really have to request your endorsement for that person. That's what should be happening. That's what a real leader does, because a leader doesn't lead people down the wrong track. A leader communicates. A leader is there for you. A leader is not, trying to get business, drum up business for their other businesses. They're not trying to own something and try to alienate people and keep them out. They actually are inclusive. And matter of fact, you know what? With Steve Jobs and other smart leaders that I used to have the opportunity to work under said that you should always hire people smarter than you are. So guess what, Todd? I'm looking for people to join the Republican Party that are much smarter than I am, so that we can get this party back on track and get our conservative values in order.
So how do people get involved with your campaign?
So they can go to Christi, Miami.com. If you guys can even pitch in $5 to donate, you know what? It's going to be on WinRed. So you're going to be able to, if you want to donate more, it's going to go directly to President Trump's PAC himself. If anything over $1,000 or under $1,000 comes to me directly, anything over 1,000 goes to him.
Christi, thanks. Appreciate you telling us why you're running, and we'll see what happens. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Bye.